Hi, in today's video I'm going to show you how to run biometric fingerprint student attendance system in Visual Studio Professional 2017. So the language that I use to design this software is VB.NET, and then the IDE is Visual Studio Professional 2017. So typically what the software is used for is for students to clock in and out, as to record attendance, the time in and the time out for students. So quickly I'm going to take you straight to the Solution Explorer where we have all the files. So I'm going to walk you through the references that we have used in this project. Okay, so for the fingerprint reader or scanner, I have used Digital Personal UIU 4500 fingerprint reader, and I have added the SDK. So these references that I've highlighted are the SDK, okay, for the Digital Personal fingerprint scanner. Okay, so I'm going to close this quickly, and then for the database I have used SQL Server Local DB 2016. Okay, so I'm going to click on Start so that we can start this project and see how it works. So I have clicked on Start and the build has started, so we need to wait for it to finish building. Okay, so this is the login form for this project. So the username is admin and the password of course is admin. So I'm going to click on login. Alright, so this is the home page for the administrator. So we have the Add Student, we have the Enrollment, we have Attendance. For attendance we have time in and time out. That's when the student clock in and when the student is of course clocking out. That's when the student is arrived at school, the student will need to take attendance, and when the student is leaving the school, the student will also need to take attendance. Okay, so for the admin we have attendance reports, we have add user, we have student profile, we have export to Excel. That's you can export student record to Microsoft Excel, and then we have a printable attendance report. So all of this I'm going to show you quickly, okay, on how it works. And then of course we have the logout menu. Okay, so we are going to start with the Add Student. I'm going to click on the Add Student menu, and then we will need to fill this. So all the information that we are going to be using right here is just for demo purpose. Okay, so for the webcam I have used OpenCV and EmguCV, okay, to integrate this webcam. Alright, so we have the Start webcam, and of course we have the capture button for the webcam. And then for the student ID, it's auto-generated, but what I have done is that I have, I didn't restrict access, as the text box for the student ID is not read only, so you can as well type in your ID in case you have your student ID. Okay, so I'm going to use, for me to get back my ID, I'm just going to close this form, then I'm going to go back to Add Students so that I will have the auto-generated ID. So if you need to use your own ID, you are free to do that. Alright, so I'm going to start by capturing my image. Okay, so I'm going to click on the start webcam button. So the camera is on, my webcam camera is on, so I'm going to click on capture. Okay, so I have captured my passport. That's for the students, the demo students. So for the student name, I'm going to say demo student 1, or just demo student. Okay, just for demo purpose. So for the email, I'm going to say demo@gmail.com. For the mobile number, I'm going to enter this mobile number doesn't exist. Okay, so let me just enter a number, a random number there. Okay, so just for demo purpose, that's why I'm doing that. Or let me just enter a number that looks like a phone number. Okay, so that number doesn't exist. Just using it, just a random number for demo purpose. So the date of birth, I'm just going to any dates here. Okay, I'm just going to select any date of birth. Okay, I'm just going to select any dates, any date of birth. Okay, so for states, I'm going to select Cross River, the sex, gender, nationality, Nigerian. So if you get a source code, you are free to remodify the entire design. Okay, so if you want to hire me to do that, you're free to do that. Okay, but you're free to modify the source code. So for the address, I'm going to say demo streets address. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to check everything that all this information that I've entered, if they are correct. Okay, or if I've filled every single text box on this. So if I'm okay with it, then I'm going to click on submit. So submitted successfully. I'm going to close this student registration form. Okay, so we are through with the art student. So we are going to capture our fingerprint. So for us to do that, I'm going to click on enrollment. So we have the student biometric enrollment form. So what I need to do right now is to try to enter the first letter of the student that I want to capture the biometrics. So for this instance is this demo student that we have created. Alright, so the next thing is I'm going to click on start enrollment. Okay, so we would need to capture all our 10 fingers, okay, or fingerprint. So we're going to start with the right hand or fingers. So I'm going to click on the first thumb. So I have connected my biometric device. I'm using the Digital Personal UIU 4500 fingerprint reader. So it's connected to my computer. So I'm going to start the fingerprint capturing. So I've captured the first finger, that's the thumb. I'm going to go for the index finger. So the index finger has been captured. I'm going to go for the right middle finger. Okay, so that has been captured also. I'm going to go for the ring finger. So that has been captured. I'm going to capture my pinky finger. So now that I'm capturing my all the right fingers, I'm going to go for the left thumb. Okay, so that has been captured also. I'm going to go for the left index finger. So that has been captured. I'm going to capture the left middle finger. Alright, so I'm going to capture my left ring finger. Alright, so now this is the last finger, that's the left pinky finger. Okay, so what I'm going to capture next. Alright, so now that we have successfully enrolled all our fingers, as you can see, there's a message there that enrollment was successful. Alright, so what I'm going to do right now is to, So what I'm going to do right now is to close this form. I'm going to click on close, and then finally I'm going to click on this close button. Alright, so for we to confirm that our fingerprints was successfully captured, I'm going to click on enrollment just to check what we have done. Alright, so if a student is not if a student has not been registered previously, so that student won't be able to capture his or her fingerprint. So as you can see, once I enter the first letter of any student, there is an auto suggestion here that would automatically suggest that student name. So what I'm going to do right now is just to click on the student, and then the student ID will be displayed in the student ID text box, and then I'm going to click on start enrollment. So because we have captured all our fingerprint for this student, that's why you can see that this fingerprint mask is already displayed on those fingers. So which means the fingerprint enrollment was successful for the student. So I'm going to click on close, and then I'm going to click on this close button right there. So the next thing that we're going to do is for me to show you how the attendance system works. Alright, so for the attendance system, we have the time out and the time in. The time in is when a student comes into the school. Alright, so a student enters the school or is in the class, that student is expected to take attendance. The student leaves the school premises or the class, that student is expected to clock out. So I'm going to start with the time in, that's the clock in. Alright, so what we have on the screen here is the clock in form. Okay, as you can see, there's nowhere that you can enter any ID. Or this student ID and the name is read only, so you can't enter anything. So what you would need to do, or what the student need to do, is to place any of the, or is to scan any of the, is to place any of the fingers that has already been captured on the scanner, on the fingerprint scanner. And once the finger, once the software scans that finger, okay, it will automatically compare or try to match the fingerprint template captured from the scanner and the existing template stored on the database. Okay, so the fingerprints are stored as templates. Okay, they are all encrypted and stored as template, okay, on the database, and they are not stored as image, they are stored as templates. So the fingerprint verification is done within seconds, and there is no limited number of records, okay, for this purpose. All right, so for me to take attendance, I'm going to place any of the scan finger on the fingerprint reader, okay, for me to take or to clock in as a student. All right, so as you can see, attendance has been taken, okay, for this demo student. That's the demo student has been able to clock in, all right, for today. Okay, so that's why we have the student ID, the student name, which is demo student, the date, the day is Thursday, and the time, of course, is what we have on the screen. And of course, the student image will also be displayed just to be sure that the right student is taking attendance. Okay, so for demo purpose, I'm just going to clock out, okay, just to show you how the clock out form works. All right, so for me to do that, I'm going to click on the attendance menu on the menu bar, and I'm going to click on timeout. All right, so as you can see, the timeout column is currently empty. So for me to take attendance or to clock out for this student, for this demo student, I'm going to place my my finger on the scanner. Okay, so any of the fingers can work for you. All right, so as you can see, I have clock out. Okay, so as you can see, I have clock out for this student, this demo student. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to close this form. I'm going to close this form, and then I'm going to, okay, so we have clock in, and then we have clock out, and then I'm going to click on admin. Now let's view the student attendance report. Okay, so I'm going to click on this name, demo student, and then I'm going to click on search. Okay, so you can also select monthly, daily, weekly attendance reports. So all you need to do is just to select the date range from, and then to, then you search, then you have that particular record or the particular attendance that you are searching for. That is how that works. So I'm going to go to, for the add user, that's if you want to add a new system administrator or staff. So I'm going to go back to the admin. Then let's see how the student profile works. So for this, I'm going to say demo student. That's the demo student that we use. So I'm going to click on search. Okay, so we have that right here, and then you can also update, okay, all these records. All right, so I'm going to show you how to export student record to Excel. So for me to do that, I'm going to click on admin, and then I'm going to click on export to Excel. So we have just a sample demo student that we have done. So I'm going to click on browse. So that browse is just to select a location of our choice that we want our file to be exported to. Then I've decided to use desktop. Then I'm going to click on OK. So the process is being done in the background. So once successful, you're going to get a message. Alright, so records exported successfully. I'm going to click OK, and then I'm going to close this dialog box. So let's check our desktop to see if the record was exported. So we have it here. So I'm going to double click it to is what we have exported just one single demo record on this Excel sheet. So working very well. So we're going to close this, and then we're going to go back to the print attendance report works. So for the print attendance reports, this is how it looks like. So it's just a sample design, okay, for the printable attendance report. That's for all students. So in case you need a daily, weekly, monthly report, you can use this date range, the from and the to date. So just select any of these dates, the from and then to, wherever you want, and then you now click on search. Then this record will be displayed here for you. Okay, so in case you want to check the print layout, just to be sure that when printed on paper, no edges will be cut out. So as you can see, everywhere is fitted on the print layout. So I'm going to click go back to the normal view, and then I'm going to click on the printer icon. So once I click on the printer icon, the printer dialog box is going to appear, and then I'm going to select, or what you need to do is to select any of your printers that is installed in your computer. So I have a Canon IP 7200 series printer, and then this is what I'm going to use as a demo, just to show you how to print your student attendance record. So for the printer paper size, I'm going to select A4, and then for the all of this is okay by me. The print quality standard or maybe fast, okay, and then the page setup, I'm going to go for landscape. Then I'm going to click on OK, and then finally I'm going to apply, and then of course if I want to print it out, I'm going to click on print.